Okay.
Hello, my name is Ray, and I'm a librarian at the Volusia County Public Library, and we have another scientific guest with us today. So, Carla, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Carla Siler-Maddalena, and I'm a software engineer.
Okay, and where do you work, Carla?
I work for a small startup called Mallowfields, and we do custom engineering for agriculture, education, government, anything that we think fits our, what do I want to say? Fits our core values. We want to help people. We don't want to make things that make the world worse.
Okay, and so what excites you most about your work?
Oh boy. Recently, it's definitely been the speed at which technology has advanced. So 20 years ago, so I'm 40. We'll just be very blunt about age right now. I'm 40. I've been a software engineer for 15 years now. I started when I was 25 professionally. And um, back then, I was excited that I could make a website that could send banking information, which today is a very, very common thing. Everyone has a mobile phone app, everyone can do banking on their phone. But back when I started, that wasn't so common. And now I'm looking at things and I can now tell my house to start up my furnace or my lights or my car to drive itself with the click of a button. That's a very fast advancement in hardware to code interfacing. And I'm excited for what the next 20 years is going to bring. My car drives itself now. Is it going to make me dinner next week? I don't know. Maybe. But that's the kind of things that I'm excited about because I don't know what's on the next horizon.
What's the one thing that everybody should know about your area of expertise?
Um, so I think there's a lot of misconception right now about what coding is. So you hear, oh, the AIs are going to take over the world. I've heard that silly misconception a lot. I mean, is Terminator a possibility? Right now it is if he falls over when he gets on uneven ground or mistakes a tree for a person because our our software isn't that advanced yet. And software is hard. Remember that when someone writes code, it's not it's not as easy as saying, "Well, go find the tree." That computer knows ones and zeros. So now I have to make an interface that says, "Translate ones and zeros to single words." Well, now I have to make another layer that says, "Take those single words and bundle one or two together to make like a conscious object." Like, what is that thing? So to make a robot, like if you have a robot with four wheels, to make it drive straight, I've got to make four different levels of code, each more advanced than the next, just to tell it drive forward. It's not a simplistic thing. And so what when you see cars that drive themselves right now, what you're not seeing is 20 years worth of code that's been built layers on layers on layers on layers to get to that abstractness. So is Terminator come and destroy the world tomorrow? No, we can barely get robots that can walk over uneven ground. I mean, the DARPA challenge every year shows that. Like, and those are hilarious. If you haven't gone and watched those on YouTube, that's a highly recommended funny thing because you can watch robots mess up in 20 different ways of which developers went, oh, I didn't code for that. Because you have to code for every single thing. That robot is literally as dumb as a brick. It has no more knowledge than that brick does until you tell it.
So, what is the one book that's influenced you the most?
Oh, so I think about this one quite a bit. And I came to the realization I couldn't just pick one because it's basically the entire sci-fi genre. Anything that made me dream about things that were bigger than what's going on now. But to be fair, you're looking for a single book recommendation of a great sci-fi novel. So I'm gonna have to go Ender's Game. Do not watch the movie. That is a travesty. The book is 10 million times better and has so much more detail. So, Ender's Game, final answer.
Any game
Even
is your
though,
final answer?
even though you should read the entire sci-fi genre in your library.
So let's say they read Ender's Game, and then there's another author that you want to recommend, maybe?
Neil Gaiman. I absolutely love Neil Gaiman's books. He definitely plays the line between tech and fantasy. So it gives you a little bit of both. I do love fantasy novels also. They're my fun novels. So Neil Gaiman's definitely my next favorite author. 5-star, amazing writer.
Sure, sure. So I'm going to ask kind of a bonus question. I
Oh,
told you we were going to ask five, but I thought, why not? We'll ask another one. So kind of a
you love
bonus
putting me on
one
the
question.
spot.
Uh, so if there was a young person looking to get into coding, what's the best piece of advice you could give them?
Okay, so this question's asked to me a lot because I do work with a lot of children in a nonprofit that I founded. Um, so depending on the age of the student, my number one recommendation is start working with Internet of Things type machinery. So for little kids, you can use the Lego Mindstorms kits, and those we actually use in freshman engineering classes back in the day to teach freshman engineers without having to build the machinery how to interface with a simple piece of hardware. So there are books. Again, go to your local library. There are tons of books about, how to write code. You can write a very cool website. You like cats? Make a website about cats. Hey, I am all for the piano playing cats. The more the merrier. I need some happiness. It's 2021. Um, go find a book about writing HTML. Are you interested in security? My husband is an information security, a professional hacker. Companies pay him to try to make sure that the other bad hackers can't get in. Are you interested in hacking? There are tons of information security meetup groups that would be happy to have you join them. They're not exclusive. So the question is, what do you like? And find that thing that you can do that kind of fits in it. Is it Legos? Go get a Mindstorm. Go figure out how to do that. Um, there are small kits from Adafruit that anyone can do. We actually have some that we're doing with our 3-year-old, and they're as fun as like one of them is putting a U light strip inside of a fake cloud we made, and it allows him to push buttons and change the color of the cloud in his room. It's like a nightlight. There's a million ideas out there. Go Google library. Those are my two big things. Find the thing that you're passionate about inside of it that relates to it, and then put them together.
Well, perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you, Carla, for joining us.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I got 15 minutes off of work.